So good morning, friends, and welcome again to another episode of Get In, Get Fit series. And I'm sure all of you must be very excited to hear from our expert speaker today. It is an amazing experience, I can say, at Get In, Get Fit because we started this during the lockdown just because we wanted to get, a good understanding of health and fitness. And then we thought all those people who have really, contributed to their own health and to the welfare of the friends around them, we wanted them to come and give their insight on this platform. And it has been an amazing journey. Actually, if you look at it, today is the 52nd week. And this is very special for me as a person and for the entire Get In Get Fit team. I'll tell you why. 52, I think it surely rings a bell in your minds. We have come 1 year around the globe on this speaker series. So it's a very, very, very special occasion. You can see the way I'm dressed up. I'm so super excited. This is nothing short of a celebration for me. And this is very special, as I told you, because what we started off, we took it very seriously. And each of these expert speakers has given a wealth of knowledge. Each of them have contributed from their heart. And at Get In Get Fit, we speak about heart, body, mind, and soul. So we not only talk about physical transformation, but we talk about internal grit and determination. And that is what, Get In Get Fit is all about. And of course, during the pandemic, we have understood that, we need to be really, really fit to, combat whatever we are going through. So today we have an amazing speaker, and I'm going to introduce her shortly. And with all those people who are joining in for the first time, you're going to be amazed to understand and listen to what she's got to offer you. Of course, I was, referred by Kripakar sir, and he was the one who truly said that, she is a Wonder Woman. And as I went through her CV, I found it very interesting. And I've been talking to Ishwari too. And it has been an amazing experience. But what I want to tell all of you is, she's very famous for her animal yoga. And I'm sure she's going to talk more about that today. But let me introduce Mrs Eswari Andiappan. And she really feels that, her biggest achievement is having two wonderful children, and how she's been able to balance both work and home, and along with that, fitness for sure. So she's been the Iron Man of India in 2016. She's got 3.8 kilometers of swimming, 180 double cycling, and 4.2 kilometers of running. That's what the Iron Man or Iron Woman is all about. And she was the super runner in 2015. She started running from 2014, and she went all about from 85 kilos to 56 kilos just because of running. And she's got few ultra marathons, which is about 50K. They call it the ultra runs. And she's got full marathons and a handful of half marathons too. She cycled from Chennai to Trichy, that is around 612 kilometers. And her son has been the youngest triathlete at the age of 8. And her daughter is an aspiring triathlete. So you can understand it runs in the family, I guess. And she works in the IT industry as a project manager. She's a curriculum designer at Sparrow Kids. She's a freelancer, a nutrition and fitness consultant. And she also honorarily, contributes to counseling for differently and specially able children. And it's such a pleasure to have you with us, Ishwari. And over to you right now.
Thank you so much, Vidyaa. So nice of you to patiently listen to my story when I was taking hours together to explain it to you. Okay. Thank you so much for all of you to dial in today. And as Vidyaa was mentioning, I'm not a great person, but I'm a consistent person. That's how I define myself. So it is that I will be consistent on whatever small task that I'm taking. So that is what took me here. So that's the icing of the cake that I already gave you at the starting of the session. So to give you a story of how I started and came till this distance is to start with. I delivered my daughter in 2013, and I was a mother of two, and I got to know that I'm a special mother, which meaning that my daughter is a special child, and which kind of took me into a depression. But my family situation was so good that my mom, dad, my brother did not let me go that deeply into a clinical depression. So my brother was trying to introduce me to running, and one of my friend was already into marathon, and he was just trying to introduce me few things of getting outdoor. I was just I was not willing to even come out of my home for a couple of months after I gave birth to her. So this kind of started from there, and it all started with Chennai Trial Marathon in 2030. So my daughter was like 10 months old, and so my son was running, and I was always inclined towards active lifestyle, but I'm not given a chance because I'm being not doing so greatly on the education side. So my parents wanted me to get into education. So this is how it all started. But I will always try to escape from my mother, jump out of walls, and I will threaten her saying that if you make me study this social subject, I will jump from the first floor. So I have done all this with her. But so this kind of getting outside home and going out, being in the nature, kind of helped me come out of my state that time. I slowly started running, and my weight was 86 kgs that time. And I didn't know that I'm going through a weight loss journey. I'm going to work on the. I started with running a 700-meter around my apartment. With 86 kgs, I just couldn't move. It was like rolling the 700 meters. I took about like 10 to 15 minutes to come around my apartment. Every day I did it. So I started in the year 2013, and I was inspired by my son who did a 5 kilometer on the first go. And I wanted to try this run. I finished my office by 3:30. Come put my bike in the parking. I will not come upstairs. I will carry my laptop bag and go around my apartment. It is 700 meters around. So this continued for some time. And slowly, when there is a patch of 50 meters there, I will not find anybody. So I wanted to try running secretly. So I decided to run a bit, and it felt good. It felt good. The gasping of the breath felt good. So that was kind of giving me some new, fresh ideas and thoughts of living. So that 50 meters changed into 500 meters. Then it came to 1 kilometer. I kept rounding and rounding my apartment when there is nobody at all. So this went on for some time. And Dawn to Dusk was the first event I participated in 2014. And what happened is anywhere we go as a family. And I was taking my nephew, who was like 2 years at time. And we also registered for his 1 kilometer run. We thought like he's going to run for a kilometer, then we will take care, like me and my sister-in-law was there. So a couple of kilometers I will carry him, couple of kilometers she will carry. But this little guy did not get out of me at all. I had to piggyback him all the 7 kilometers and walk. So this gave a tremendous confidence on me. So if I can walk 7 kilometers carrying about 5 to 7 kgs versus weight. So I can do anything. I can try going more. So without that weight, I can try going more. So from January till March, I was doing my own trials, getting out, and I lived close to OMR. So I was doing small walks, long walks, trying to do cycling. I was trying all combinations. 2014, March, April times, I was introduced to triathlon by the same friend who introduced me to the marathon. His name is Arul Kumar, and we both were college mates. And he is my batchmate for my lab. So he was saying, no, you should know about it. And he was explaining this one big long list: 3.8 kilometers swimming, 180 kilometers cycling, 42 kilometers of running. I was like, I'm just coming out of a 700-meter and you're talking me a big list. And he said, no, it is quite possible. You should try. Then I was like, I wanted to go and see that event. And it kind of happened. My brother went there and he came with some knowledge and he was trying to give this knowledge to me. And it was scary initially. It was really scary to see that is it possible to swim 3.8 kilometers? I'm not able to walk that distance in a very easy manner. So it just went on for some time, and somehow I decided to start to do a triathlon, to do the Ironman distance. I did not start to be a runner. I did not start to be a cyclist. I did not start to be a swimmer. And I don't know swimming when I decided to do this. So I decided to go for the triathlon. So I decided to learn swimming. I take my son to the SDAT pool in Velicheri, and I used to sit outside and I used to tell him, why don't you change your strokes? It is all bad. It is looking this way. You have to take your hand up and put it inside. And he used to tell me, why don't you get inside the water and try it once? It is so painful. And I was like, this guy is making sense. So I should try. So I didn't take it as a criticism, but rather I took it as an opportunity to get inside. I just wanted somebody to call me inside water. And he did that part, and I went in there. First time I jumped and came out of water, felt like, oh my God, I'm still alive. So that was the feeling. So I came out of water. Every time I went in, I came out with the same feeling for the first couple of days. And then I took my coach to Utiambagam to teach me swimming inside that water. And I didn't know I should not be jumping on the first go. I should rather try to try to take some bubbles and then go in. Rather, I jumped inside the water. I came out gasping. I thought like this is the last day of my life. And that has happened many times. And somehow he managed to take me there, and we've been slowly trying to swim. And I learned swimming at the age of 33. And this kind of this being inside the water made me feel like there is a new feeling. I couldn't give it a name for it, but every time I get inside the water, I felt like this is my me time. Every time I run, I feel like this is my time. And every time I go out cycling and go on a longer distance and where there is no man, it is all nature, it is like a new feeling that gives you a hope in life. So where the ego dies, and it is just that you're in your own mind state. So this kind of gave me a lot of energy, and I started taking up DRM, the randonnering. So I decided to run because it is a part of triathlon. And later, this was running had given me a lot of other things. But initially, I wanted to run because I cannot complete a triathlon without a run. So cycling was my forte, and I decided to take cycling for a little longer. As my coach Anil Sharma was saying that the longest leg is cycling, and you have to cycle more. So I decided to cycle for longer and go for the Super Ironwoman series. So it happened like 2015. I started long distances, and to complete a Super Ironwoman, one has to complete on an ad hoc calendar 200, 300, 400, 600 kilometers. So all these four distances need to be covered in the ad hoc calendar. I did cover this distance, and I had to leave my family and children and take out a lot of my parents' time to make sure that that my children are being taken care. My support system is being super built that when I want to go out, the Super Anime series of 1 year is not a small task, because 1 year of training is what it takes to complete that initially, because that's the starting period. And I completed this, and I had difficulties, the womanly difficulties like the periods and all that coming on the way, and how to work with it and all. So I was introduced to the menstrual cups later, but initially it was all a task that I couldn't handle. So I completed the distance. By the time I was like from 86, I came down to 70 plus, so 71, 72. The idea is not for a weight loss. Idea is to be with the nature. Idea is to feel fresh. Idea is to go to a stage where there is an egoless state where I can make decisions. This was the idea to go out. But the weight loss came as a companion along with me, and it kind of kept me motivating to go out more. I finished the super running. Now I don't have a choice. I cannot skip this running part. So I have to get inside this run. Slowly, I decided to take up a distance little by little. But I've already completed a full marathon before I started enjoying run. And it was like it was not an easy journey though. So I completed the training part, and even before Tuesday, this is always a special word for me. I get into some kind of an accident or something, and again that happened, and my little finger got a hairline fracture. I did not go to a doctor. Sorry, I'm telling this to a doctor's group. So I managed to go with for a 42 kilometer with just one leg limping, and I did not tell anybody. Rather, I started doing it. 21 kilometers went as per plan. And after 21st kilometer till 42nd kilometer, it was crawling, crying, rolling, sitting, everything happened. I took about 7 hours and 45 minutes to complete the first run. But that gave me a lot of teaching, like how to approach a run, how to train for a full marathon. Only then I started learning that. So I was a part of Chennai Runners, and Anil Sharma was training me on that part. And slowly I was taken distance by distance, kilometer by kilometer, with all different the sprint runs, interval runs, and sleep was being taught to me because I don't sleep. I rarely sleep, like 4 to 5 hours is the maximum sleep I get any day. But recently, after I started training with coaches, they have made sure if I'm not sleeping for 6 hours, there is no workout for me next day. They will not let me do the workout. So sleep is so important that as how I see the three disciplines of this triathlon, like running, cycling, swimming, sleeping is one of the discipline, nutrition is the next discipline. Without these two, this is not going to happen. Not even this, the lifestyle is not better. So even there are elders in the group of Chennai runners who have been who were talking to me in initial stages, were telling me like, without sleep you are trying to make sure that you are running, you're cycling this distance, but this is not going to work for you. I did not take them seriously that time, but I did realize after some time, when I'm not able to perform, when I was getting into issues, when I was getting into injuries and all that. So 2016 December, the event was planned, and I was all prepared. But the floods of Chennai had taken my dream off, and the event was postponed for endlessly. So December turned into March. So we were doing some volunteering works in December, and just enjoying the waters and all the roads. Of course, it was mixed with all drainage, but we didn't have a go. We had to get out and help some friends and all that. So we've been enjoying some time. And the March, the event was planned. It was peak summer, and I was like, I was all prepared. But again, the event before Tuesday, I had a fall and I had a major injury on my left leg, and above an ankle, I had a tear. So this time, I was taken to a doctor forcefully, and doctor said, "Forget about the event. You are not doing the event with this 1 inch depth. Not 1 inch, like 1 centimeter depth. You are not getting inside the water." I said fine, and I came out, and I told my friend that you are not telling anybody. Of course, I did it, and I jumped inside the water. And I was not wearing a bandage because I know the rules of the triathlon company, that I'm not supposed to get inside with an injury. But I had to get inside because it's a 2 years dream, which I was waiting for to complete and spend some time with the family. So I jumped inside the water. My swimming speed this time was much faster than what I usually swim, because my leg has been injured, and there are about 30 people swimming in that quarry. If I swim little slow, then there are going to be fast swimmers who are going to come and hit my leg. So I'm going to end up in pain. So this is the only reason that drove me faster. And the swimming speed of that event was much faster than what I usually do. And I finished swimming. I was like, okay, the event is over. And I took up cycling and running, and running was a run walk. And there were a lot of CTC volunteers who have been like, Akka, you can just take it slow. It's okay. We are going to wait for you. Don't worry about the timing. You just finish. That's fine. Because there was no women there. And on the start line, every men were dressed up in their swimsuits. And I felt so embarrassing to stand for a photograph with them. But that photo is the best photo that I've ever taken. So on the finish line, I felt a kind of a new energy to live this life, this dear life, so beautifully, and that's where my life started turning. So I finished this event, and I decided I will slow down on this side and concentrate on the areas that I have missed so far. That's spending some time with my daughter, some time with my son. And it was all a lonely journey after 2015 to 2016. Of course, initially it was all a family journey, but later when I started to go the distance, people couldn't join me. So and now it is all a children time. So that's how it all went on. And later, so I've told you about the journey of my running and how I started and all that. So how I turned into a diploma in nutrition is like I love eating. I love eating. My mother is the best cook in the world, and I can eat any quantity, anytime. I have never seen myself in this fitness anytime in my life. And all my childhood, I was like a plump. So that's how my childhood was, and I eat anything. So this is like has become an obsession for me. And when I started studying my weight, which I gained, and which I was always longed for a flat tummy and a strong hands and all that. So now it is all happening. So why don't I turn my concentration little towards the side? So I was 67 when I decided to 67 kgs of weight when I decided to take up running seriously. And my coach was like, "You have to shred a little weight. You're like little on the overweight." What? Overweight? I came down from 86 and now I'm 67. You're calling me overweight. This is not possible. And he said, like, no, you have a lot of scope. You have to try. And he was giving me, his name is K. Sundar Rajan and Kannan Sundar Rajan. So we call him K. So he was giving me tips. He wouldn't give me big list of tips. He would just give me one thing. So I was proudly telling him that I don't eat chocolates. And he said, why are you cursing yourself? You like chocolate, go take one. But take that one piece mindfully. When he said one, I was thinking about one big dairy milk. But he said, take that one piece mindfully. And what is mindful? That's when I started understanding the word mindful. So he was explaining, put it in your mouth, don't bite it, just let it melt. Listen to it. Just close your eyes and just eat that one piece of chocolate. For how long? Until it melts and goes inside by itself. One big dairy milk and just one piece. Is this mindful? Yes, try it. And I did try. First time I just had a bite and took it inside. But later it happened to be a nice journey. So anything that I get on my table during my work hours, my mother used to, as COVID is helping me work from home, my mother puts in some mangoes or something. I just put it in my mouth and I think about K. Sundararajan. It just melts. So eating it mindfully with all your senses is what I started learning that time. So eating is just not putting something inside your mouth, munch it, swallow. No. Eating has to use all your senses, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your feeling. So all the senses, the taste, of course. So how to eat mindfully? So you're having idli, a good chutney, and sambar. You sit and see this. It's not possible. No. Sit with your family. Enjoy that food. See the color of the food. Feel that food. And feel that aroma. ஒரு அழகான ஒரு பாட்டு தமிழ்ல இருக்கு. பசி கொண்ட நேரம் தாளிக்கும் ஓசை சத்தம் சங்கீதம். Feel that. When the mustard is crackling and when the curry leaves are just bursting, it is all a beautiful sound. All that is not only the sound, that is a signal to your brain that is going to get your saliva secreted more, and that is having a lot of chemicals and intelligent senses, which is going to tell your brain that this is the food that is coming for you today. When you're eating a biryani, that's not the same food that is a sambar rice or whatever. So the smell and the looks of it is all helping you to secrete the hormones inside your body, chemicals inside your body, the digestive enzymes inside your body to digest different food differently. And as the life has moved from our old age to this age, when we wanted to write in the old age, you will have the feather of a bird or something, and there will be an ink bottle. They used to touch that and write and all. So now you just have a pen. You just take the pen and write it. You don't have to go in search of a bird. You don't have to go in search of a water or whatever it is. So the life is civilized so better that you don't have to go for a water every time. The water is sitting on your table. So the life has civilized so much. Why not the food? The food is the same. earlier there were been a lot of carbohydrate eaters, because when we were a caveman, we were supposed to make use of the best carb and the instant glycogen levels. So any easy carbs that they are getting, they were eating it, because days together they go without a hunt. So they were supposed to take easy digestibles, easily storable carbohydrates. But now you just go out, take your bike, go to a nearby shop, supermarket, get whatever you want. You don't even have to do that. Take your mobile, order it, it just comes home. So when things are civilized so much, why not the food not being civilized? So what is it that you have to eat? Why you have to eat mindfully? So all these are the question of thought for you. So these were the thoughts that came in, and before even doing a diploma in nutrition and whole food nutrition, I was talking to my mother, my grandmother, and my perimas, and all of them, to understand food better. Because my perima is like, one day I added a lot of dal in one sabji, so I will not add dal in the other. And a lot of tomatoes in one, I will not add tomato at all for a sambar. How does a sambar taste even without a tomato? And she used to explain me things. So this is the quantity that you will have to eat. This is the quantity your body needs. And I don't know how at that age, like this was like 2-3 years before. And she is this age woman and just trying to give me gyans, which I understand. So she was explaining me these things, and my mother's knowledge from my perima and my grandmother. So they were trying to give me insights on how a food to be cooked, and how a food not to be cooked, how a food to be eaten. So all these gave me an insight of how to eat food. So moving out from my coach, I decided to stay vegan. So he was like, no, you don't have to try vegan, but I did wanted to try, because all the diets I have already tried. Only this vegan was left out. So I have tried the GM diet, I have tried this keto, paleo, everything. But all these will stay only for 2 to 3 months, and I'll just go out. So I didn't like it for that longer to stay in that. I was a non-vegetarian initially, but last 7-8 years I'm a vegetarian, and I turned into a vegan like 2016, 17 types. I turned into a vegan. So initially, turning into a vegan was like so hilarious, because I drink coffee and teas, not coffees, but specifically teas. We have teas like water. So you're free sometime. Can you make a tea? Can you have a tea? Can you have a tea? This sound will always be reverberating at home. So I used to have 7-8 teas in a day. Now this tea is not going to be in the picture. How am I going to make this living possible? So I started looking into different options. My mother's knowledge came in handy. Panakam, green tea, parutipal, pumpkin juice. So there were a lot of new varieties, in the black tea, black coffees, lemon tea, sukumali coffee. So many options came out, and I was like, did you had so much in your life, Amma? I never had all these. I only had a coffee. If not for a tea, then I go for an ice cream. Juice I am not a fan of. So these were the options for me. So now I have huge options to choose to. And over that, my friends were suggesting for almond coffee and the pista milk. That was so exciting journey it was. So I tried out so many new foods, so many new variety of cakes. And we go to Auroville just to eat. So there are so many outlets which are vegan friendly, and we choose the restaurants. We go there and try out the vegan food. Now, after moving on, earlier also we were not a fan of the cheese, butter, things types. But without the getting a cheese, without maida, without any white food, without any white sugar, we make pizzas at home. We make pastas at home. And without curd, I was able to live for a year. And this was going well. Initially, before turning into a vegan, I took a B12 and the vitamin B test and all the tests, because my friends was pushing to do that, and my coach was also so meticulous about taking a test. So it was all good. But I was so sure I'm not going to take a supplement. And after 1 year, I started getting into issues, because the vitamin D and B12 started depreciating on my body. And then I moved on to this rice porridge, the Modanal Sadata soak pani, which early morning we have it. So that has a good amount of B12. So that was the only option available. And even then, I was suggested to take dosages of shots of B12 injections, which I'm not happy with. So instead, I will have a little milk and I will manage it little. but I will not take the supplement. This was the thought that came to me. So I slowly came out of vegan, and that journey was like 1.5 years. But after coming out of vegan, I'm not a complete vegetarian. So no coffees, no tea. So it is a black coffee I started falling in love with. It is just 25 ml. As my coach said, I take it so mindfully. And so my coach currently, Aarti Swaminathan, is a vegan. So we venture out to vegan shops and vegan restaurants, and it was all a adventurous journey to find a vegan food outside. So this vegan food automatically reduced about 8 kgs in my body. I did not concentrate on reducing the weight, or I was not calorie conscious. I was only doing the workout regularly, and I was so specific. I will not have milk related products, white sugars. So otherwise, I have this panankarupati, bellam, chakare, nati chakare. So all these were my regulars. But even then, the sweets had never come home. So it is all the otherism kind of things what my mom makes at home. So sweets had never played a role during those 1.5 years. But automatically 8 kgs of weight started reducing. When I started seeing the deficiencies, when I go for one long run of 20 kilometers, come back, I take 15 days to recover. So this is not the right fashion of taking my fitness journey. So I came out of vegan, and now I have paneer, and I have curd like 3 or 4 times in a week. So paneer would be like 3 times in a fortnight. So that's the milk intake that I'm having. So otherwise, I'm not a fan of milk, and sweets had never been a part of my life. But initially it was till 32 years. I was a very good fan of sweets. I wouldn't say sweet. I was a fan of everything that I see. So this gave me a confidence on life that if I can change from 86 to 56, why not I pass it on this message to people? So it was not a meticulous journey towards weight loss. It was not a journey towards workouts or fitness or whatever. So it was a journey to self-realization. That's what I tried to do. And when I started realizing myself, when I started accepting myself, when I started loving my own self, things started falling in place. I was doing it consistently. Every day I do. It's a rain or shine or whatever. I go out, I spend some time outside. And when I come back, that stage of the energy, whatever I burnt outside, keeps me in an egoless state where I can deal with my kids without shouting at them. So that's one of the beautiful part I have achieved in this journey. And due to the needs of my family, I did a PG diploma in special education, and this was not RCA approved. So I was in the journey towards doing an MSc psychology. And of course, engineering and psychology play a dual role, but the needs of the family made me do this. So I finished my psychology. Now the thoughts and ideas that I make are making me so proud that I could think of this way. But rather, I want to break another information. I was dyslexic till the age of 10. Sorry, not 10, till my 10th standard. I didn't know I was dyslexic towards reading a content. I can write, I can understand whatever is being said, but I cannot see a paragraph and read it at one shot together. I won't be able to go through the words in a sequential manner. So this was my issue during my school days. But I was told that you have to get out of the school and be a private candidate because you are going to spoil the school average of 100% in 10th standard. But having a BE, MBA, and MSc psychology and diploma and PG diplomas in a couple of stuff, I want to go back to this teacher and say that I was also able to do in education. And I'm currently doing curriculum designs for a school that my father runs. And here the education is based on intelligence. So no child goes out without getting a proper way of an education. So you want to teach a concept of a box. It's just not a box that's shown to them or drawn to them, whatever. It is being taught to them in different other ways. These are the ideas that I perceive while I'm running, while I'm cycling. So this box is not just a box. So we just show them drawing a box. We make box and show to them. We make the children stand like a box, and we remove one or two children and make it a rectangle. And how does a triangle form from a rectangle? So we put a couple of children to stand on a stool or something and make them see a square form, make them see a triangle form. So this is the way that we teach the children now. So I started this journey for some reason of self-realization. I did realize myself. This running did take me to that state. And I'm doing this consistently with a dream of making a school, a big school. I'm already seeing it happening. So school of inclusive education. Inclusive education is just not putting a child inside a classroom and putting it with a different teacher. A child with a special need or a differently able needs, sitting along with the other children and able to read. And as how I turned into a therapist and I turned into a psychologist, I want parents to help their children with special needs and children who are having difficulty towards learning. So we are going to make an environment with the parent, with the children, with rest of the world. So this is my dream of that I'm working towards. So every day I take my step thinking about this. So Doc, I think I've covered a big journey short.
Awesome, awesome. I'm spellbound, Ishwari. In fact, when you were talking about dyslexia, I'm sure many of them must have watched this movie called Tare Zameen Par.
Yeah.
And how beautifully they speak about Tom Cruise, Albert Einstein, and Whoopi Goldberg, and all those people who were dyslexic and who made it very big in life, who are legends today. And
Yeah.
one more thing is that when people actually try to say you can't do it, very few people who are having that a kind of what we call as the adversity quotient, they try to find out what is it in for me and how can I prove them wrong. And I'm saluting you for feeling that way, thinking that way, going that extra mile, not only for yourself but for your children too. So it was an amazing session. And of course, when you spoke about mindful eating, and exercise because you want to have a connect with yourself, it is not to body transform or anything of that. When I started my Get and Get Fit series, this was exactly what was in my mind. I was not going to talk about stories about body transformation. It could be a part of it. It would not only focus on that. We were looking out for holistic living. We were looking out for holistic way of life, like you said, to give up sugar or even food for that matter, what you like the most, and the way you spoke about transition of civilization and how we needed the transition for ourselves. I mean, wishes are pouring. I'm going to read them out for you. But nevertheless, this was something so very, close to my heart as well. We have a special child in our house, and I understand what kind of family support it needs. And when people say inclusive, I feel I should be included into their world because they are so pure. They don't have this, the makeup of what I would probably call a normal man, as what others think. To get included in their lives and to feel the world from their eyes is something very phenomenal. And when I spend time with my niece, I don't have her right now with me because she's there up in a much safer heavenly place with God. But when we lost her, we really felt it that God was just kind enough to give us those beautiful 4 years of her, a precious life with us. And as a family, I always felt that, we need to be included in their lives, because what their little heart or what their little eyes see, Probably our eyes don't have that vision to even see that. So awesome, awesome, awesome. And I even liked the way you spoke about, taking that small, tiny bits and pushing you out of your own comfort zone, especially when you spoke about carrying your niece or nephew for, around 7 kilometers as a walk. And see, these are all mindsets or those kind of comfort zones. And people think comfort zone is something you break only once in a lifetime. It's not so. It's everyday comfort zone to, come out and get into a better version of yourself. And that really plays a very, very, very important role in everybody's life. I would like to read all the, good wishes you have got, and you'll be amazed to know how much of impact you have done in people's life. And I want to read them out for you. Rukmani Ma says, a very simple beginning, simple mindset, simple way of explaining facts, and a simple way of making us realize the importance of self-realization. Simply superb presentation. Thank you, Rukmani Ma. Kannan sir and Sudama says, very interesting and true story of a true runner. You're the best example of a difference between a runner and a non-runner. And just give me a second. And a non-runner from being active. So thank you, Kannan sir and Sudama. Rhoda says, amazing to listen to your life journey. Being dyslexic, having a child with special needs, and coming so far in your journey. You're an inspiration, Ishwari. Lots to learn, and we absolutely appreciate your spunk in making things happen for you and your family. Cheers. So thank you, Rhoda. Gauri says, very much inspiring session, dear ma'am. Sendil Kumar sir says, excellent. Thank you all. Dr. Jojo John says, very powerful session. Rhoda says, a discipline of any kind gives results. So we all, just give me a second. There are so many messages, so it's just rolling by. Rhoda says a discipline of any kind gives results. So we all need to be mindful, not just about eating, but in all things or all areas. Dr. Jojo John says, thanks a lot for the idea of mindful eating. Akansha says, truly inspiring session, Ishwari ma'am. Thank you for making us realize that there's no age limit to our dreams. We can start anytime. Love this session. Jojo John sir says, super and thank you. Dr. Vidyaa says, mindful session in all aspects. Start now, start simple. Whatever you have is the mantra learned from you. Komla says, thank you for your true motivation and I admire your perseverance. I will definitely practice your word. Judeline says, it was a wonderful sharing, Ishwari ma'am, very inspiring and beautiful. Lots to grasp on your journey towards a better version of yourself. So I am super excited, Ishwari. As I was telling you, that today is a very special day. For me personally, it's like I have come around the globe one time. And when I started this session, I truly did not know how far I can go and what support is going to happen. But I always believe in the secret of, the law of attraction, where when you think something positive, God manifests. God just unfurls and keeps unfurling. And every week I had people to unfurl this beautiful journey of get in, get fit. And as I say, it is just not fitness of the body, it is fitness of the mind. And today, as I started the session, I said that sheer grit and determination to overcome challenges and to get into a better version of ourselves and being beautiful inside out. That is what you are, Ishwari, and you're such an inspiration. I would like my friends to unmute and wish Ishwari, and any questions, I would be there to, post it to her. So such a wonderful finale, I would say, to my 1 year of Get In, Get Fit. I would like to thank all those expert speakers. See, they always say when you keep it on a platform, as to how you would understand what exactly was that one grain of rice which brought the difference. It's very difficult to say like that. But I always say that, you know, everyone added that little flavor and made this Get In Get Fit series a great success. I couldn't have spelled success without any one of you, my dear friends, and I owe it to all of you. So I guess Kannan sir wants to speak. Over to you, Kannan sir.
Ishwari, you were telling about that leg injury and then you went for swimming. I remember one incident in 2015. Ultrarunner, they conducted that half marathon from that what is that, Sairapet?
Yeah, YMCA.
Yeah. At that time, I had about 103 fever, severe cold and cough. I'm only telling you about the runner and the non-runner difference. I didn't tell my wife that I'm going for a run because I never believe in DNF. So I went there at 4:30 or so. I participated. There were 2 loops to be done. I completed the first loop and I was really tired. I was 61 at that time. So I thought of giving up, but my mind didn't accept it. Then I met Arvind, you know, the coach who is in Basan Nagar.
Yeah.
He came, he said, "Sir, what happened?" I said, "Nothing, I had a slight fever." And he accompanied me for about 5 kilometers. Somehow I finished that. That has taught me a lesson that a runner never gives up, whether it is injury or anything, he can do if he wants to do it.
Yeah.
Quitters never win, winners never quit, sir. I think,
yes,
you know, that's what it is.
There is
We are tough interiors.
We don't know the spelling of that quit.
Yeah.
Good.
We are born to win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
And kudos to your mindset, sir. I guess at 51, I don't know how many of us are going to do what you did. But
என் பசங்க இல்ல அப்போ வீட்ல இருந்தா பக்கத்துல உட்காரு ரெஸ்ட் எடுக்குன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. வைஃபையும் ரன்னிங் கூட்டும் போயாச்சு, அதனால வைஃப் cannot say sit at home. She will also join me. I am not objecting.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Yeah, Ishwari, it was really very nice. Though you have gone through a lot of things, you have just put it in such a way that there's nothing that you can say I cannot do or I will not do, or you have put the facts so well. It's really great, and best wishes for many more laurels to you and your son also for getting more triathlon events.
Awesome, Ishwari. Such a great finale. I owe it to you. And thank you so much for being a part of a historic milestone of Get In Get Fit.
Congratulations, doctor. Sorry to interrupt you. It is not a small task to come in this far. So with having a lot of ideas in mind, sometimes these ideas drain out. Sometimes we go through a downtime. When people see us as an inspiration, they think that we never go through that downtime, and spending this 1 hour is like, it's not just that 1 hour, it's the hours before and hours after, how we plan and how you take it out and give it to the dedicated task that you're doing. Hats off to you. It is not a small task.
Thank you so much, Ishwari. I understand what you mean, and I will not downsize or downplay. It is, of course, a story behind the Get In Get Fit team. I had a friend of mine last year on July 29th. I lost her to the pandemic. And it was a very emotional moment for me. There's not a day I don't remember her. Many people say friendships, you know, what are friendships all about? But this is what I could do for my friend, and she's been a part of me. And I would just think that, you know, it's her grace, along with God's blessings, that this is just going the way it is. And she was so young, she was so full of dreams and full of life. And losing her to the pandemic taught not only me, I'm a psychotherapist too, and you know, I give motivational talks and lectures and things like that, but it shook me and it shook the earth below my feet. And I said, I'm not going to lay down and take it anymore. I am going to make a difference. And I needed people like you to make a difference along with me. And so I always say this is a teamwork. I have a great set of team with me, and I have a great set of Get Fit members. Every single day, I have mentors who, come and teach us exercises morning 6:20 to 7. Anybody can walk in. It's all for free. I did not want to add a price tag on what I was doing because, there are some intangibles in life. To happiness, to spread joy, to spread smiles, to spread health. There should not be a price tag on it. And I said I would do it for free. And I wanted many, many, many more people to, benefit out of what we were all doing. So you are a part of that journey. And this session will be on YouTube today. So you can pass it to all your friends and family who have not been able to find time to sit, probably because of time zones and many other reasons, right? So we wanted each of these episodes to become historic in its own self. So I'll be sharing the link shortly with you. And thank you so much, Ishwari. This wouldn't have spelled, the kind of mega success which this 52nd week wanted. I'm sure many of my Get Fit team members must be thinking, we just had a celebration 2 weeks back, the Golden Jubilee celebrations, but I guess every day is a celebrations for me. Thank you so much. I guess somebody wants to say,
Dr. Vidyaa. Congrats, Dr. Vidyaa. Really, 52nd episode, and happiness shows on your face, and your the smile which is there for all the episodes, throughout the whole year, right from day one. I'm with you. I've been watching you. You are the same Dr. Vidyaa Hari who was with me so many days back.
Thank you so much, Rukmanima. You can see the way I've dressed up. It was a celebration time for me. I couldn't, I told Ishwari yesterday, in fact, I was telling her, you must be wondering, I have said session 45, but Ishwari, it's not 45, it's 52. We have something called Pamper Yourself series. We celebrated the Golden Jubilee also, but today's episode is a landmark episode, and I couldn't have, thanked God for any other person but you to be a part of my speaker series today. So thank you so much. I think Dr. Joju John wants to say something. Yes, sir.
Congratulations, ma'am. It was an outstanding presentation. As she was narrating her story, I felt like watching the movie Children of Heaven. A little boy had to run for his shoes, and finally he wins in a marathon. That's a story. That's an outstanding children movie. It was an inspiring session. Congrats to all of you, especially to the outstanding coordination of Vidyaa ma'am. Proud to be a part of the program. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is actually, when as Ishwari was talking, I had little tears in my eyes. I was just hiding it because, I wanted the tears of joy to be more pronounced today. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm truly overwhelmed. I can only thank a lot of people behind the scenes. I have Judeline here on this show, who has been a very important, pillar of support. I have Pramod, who provides us the link every week, week after week. And I have all my Get Fit team members every day, keeping the group so vibrant. I don't think any other WhatsApp group has worked single-mindedly on a purpose. We don't have good morning, good afternoon messages. We don't have some empty forwards on our group. It is business. We talk about fitness. We talk about how we have made our 365-day challenge work. We are normal people. When I say normal, I mean maybe not so much of a fitness freaks as others, but we have taken our healthy choices. Being a doctor, I know how much we used to give up on our sleep, on our eating patterns, just for the sake of taking care of our patients. Sometimes our surgeries go way beyond our time of eating or sleeping, and we work so that we could provide better health for others. But at the same time, we now understand the prioritizing of our own health also. And I think this Get Fit has just brought in a lot of like-minded people together. And of course, our mentors, every day morning, they come up on a board and they serve selflessly, and it's all for free. Anybody interested, you can always ask me for the link and I would be there. Yes, Rhoda, I guess you want to say something. Over to you, Rhoda.
Nothing. I was just asking, do you ever get to sleep? Gosh, you're doing something all the time. I always wonder, preparing for this, preparing for that, some talk here, something there, finger in every pie. Good Lord, how do you do it?
Being a doctor, she must be having some secret pills.
Other than,
She doesn't share with others.
I get to sleep 6 to 8 hours every day. I don't compromise on my sleep. My eating time is fixed time.
Okay.
I have my breakfast by 7:30, my lunch by 1, my dinner by 5:36. And I have been a mindful eater all my life, Ishwari. I have no sugar in my diet. I don't know since I was in the 8th standard. And there is no sugar in my house. I don't take tea, coffee. And of course, I try to do whatever I can. And as you said, when I take up something, it's for life. It's not something I do it and I leave it. I'm super consistent in what I do. And I guess that's what has made me better manage my time. And that is the secret. There is no other hidden secret. But I just
Very
pick
many
up what
people.
each expert speaker speaks and try to incorporate into my daily life. So
Vidya,
you
many
need,
people say you have only one life. Ore life da, so you must enjoy. அப்புறம் எல்லாமே mindful eating எல்லாமே பண்ணா எப்படி?
I love eating food. I love cakes. I love potato chips. But when I eat it with mindfulness. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what one has to learn, I think.
I'm a big
Right,
foodie.
yeah.
I'm a big foodie.
Ayyo, me too, me too. True,
So
true.
yeah, I got your yes, Ishwari. That's where we go. And thank you so much for making this session so lively, so fun-filled, so meaningful to all of us. And have a wonderful weekend, my dear friends, and all the love to you. Stay safe, stay protected, and I couldn't have asked for anything more than this today. Thank you so much. Love you all. Take care.
Thank you, Dr. Vidya, and thank you all of you for dialing in today. And please make sure that you're taking fitness as the first objective of your life. Just going to take care of yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.